does it feel like to lose control? And what does it mean to not be alone? Video games like Dead Dragon, Cancer, Journey, they all explore grief and vulnerability, but in different ways. In this video, I will analyze grief and vulnerability using two methods, player agency and emotional labor analysis, and comparative analysis. First, I will examine Dead Dragon Cancer and how it removes control from the player to simulate helplessness, and compare that to Journey, where vulnerability creates connection instead of isolation. These games show that video games are not just entertainment, they're empathy machines, and it uses mechanics to make emotional arguments. So now I'll be showing a scene from That Dragon, hospital scene, with a little bit of commentary.
This terrible routine, watching you, waiting for you to wake, hoping you will never remember these days of illness and treatment. One day, I'll bring you here, show you your tiny handprints on the wall, and you'll be annoyed that we all think of you as some big miracle. Cancer will be such a small part of all you could grow to be.
So basically in that scene, the player tries to comfort the crying child, basically is what's going on, but nothing works. The mechanics intentionally remove control in the game, right? So there's no way to fix the situation. It shows you the realness of the situation of cancer, right? This forces the player to perform emotional labor, repeatedly trying to take actions to lead to no resolution. Basically, you're trying to fix the game, you're trying to fix it, but there's really nothing that you can do, right? Now here's a game called Journey. In contrast, the game Journey that I've previously done already shows vulnerability, and it also shows players are basically fragile, right? The movement is limited and the world is dangerous, but presence to another player can change the experience, right? Having that emotional connection. Instead of isolation, the mechanics encourage connection, and staying close to another player, restores your abilities, and turning vulnerability into cooperation. While That Dragon Cancer empathizes Journey, right? Journey emphasizes vulnerability and create human connection, but then the Cancer empathizes helplessness. So basically this chart right here, this shows the comparison, shows how both games use the mechanics to represent grief differently, right? And one removes control to reflect reality, while the other uses cooperation to offer emotional support. In conclusion, these games prove that grief in video games does not have to follow one formula, right? That Dragon Cancer forces players to sit with pain and helplessness, while Journey shows how vulnerability can lead to connection and companionship. Together, these games demonstrate that games are powerful empathy machines, not because they tell us what grief is, but because how they make us feel.